You know things are not looking good when even the most dedicated Xbox fanboys are saying, wait a minute, this is not looking good, in fact. Maybe something is wrong here. Gee, you think? What was the giveaway? Let's see. I don't know. Maybe Game Pass failing upon year after year upon year, reaching revenue goals or even being baseline profitable. Maybe Game Pass not actually getting the subscriber amount that they want. Maybe Xbox giving up on consoles and saying, yeah, we're not even gonna try and sell hardware anymore. PlayStation got us beat. Maybe Xbox completely switching up their tactics and literally saying, hey, everything is now an Xbox. Your window is an Xbox. Your wall and poop is an Xbox now. Maybe some of those things, maybe the fact that Xbox has been living in the we have no games era for literally 20 years straight now. I mean, which one of these was the giveaway? That not everything is going on good in Xbox. Maybe the layoffs. Who knows? Who knows? But don't worry. Someone's probably gonna comment down there, and well, they're probably already commenting. Well, actually, the Xbox layoffs are only because they want to switch more to AI. Yes, sure. For the fifth time in 3 years, they're switching more to AI. Yes, that's what healthy companies that are thriving do. They fire their people who made them thriving and healthy. Indeed, one hundo.
There is an air of hopelessness around Xbox that is quite different from any other hopelessness we've experienced with this brand before. And I'm even talking back to the Xbox One days. Like, this is, to me, far worse because Xbox was playing with far much more and had way more potential and has fumbled it every single step of the way. That
Oh,
hopelessness
Jesus.
also carries into the expectation that Xbox.
Oh, this was South of Midnight. This game was not made for white people. It was really good. It had like 5 people when it launched playing it. It was a disaster. The studio who made this, by the way, now is shutting down or something. Or was it another studio? Anyway, half of the studios who make this sort of slop get shut down after 2 months. But the Xbox fanboys said, oh, that this was a success. It undersold, underdelivered, underperformed. Like 5 people played it, but it was a success. Don't you know? Literally millions upon millions of players played it on Game Pass. No, I do not know. Sounds like a lie. Sounds stupid.
And Microsoft aren't done with layoffs. We're all left sitting here wondering how teams like Compulsion Games will fare over the next year. They just dropped South of Midnight. That wasn't a mega hit. Are you really going to
Oh, there it is. Yeah, look at this. Beautiful, beautiful.
pay to keep them around
The modern audience went in force on that one.
when you just shut down studios that could have delivered more prolific games like Perfect Dark and The Initiative or Rare with Everwild?
Bro, don't even dare say Perfect Dark would have ever been good. That game looks like the most Karen thing ever.
Or a new live service game from ZeniMax Online Studios? I don't think so. And that's not me trying to be cold.
Boys, I'm not saying there's something wrong with this, but pattern recognition is going into overdrive, and I think I see something that has been a pattern of failure right here before me. Now, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's the dreads, maybe it's the puffy hair because reasons, maybe it's whatever else. Who honestly knows? But as a gamer, I have been trained to recognize patterns. A little bit more complex patterns than yellow paint on a fucking cliff. Thank you very much. But still patterns. And, I mean, my spidey senses definitely are tingling.
Or mean. I know we're talking about people's lives here, but this is the standard Xbox has set, and they have created an air of hopelessness around their brand that's permeated between both fans and developers now, which we'll talk about. One such example is a piece here from Windows Central Gaming titled, Xbox says all their games shown in the 2025 showcase are still coming, but why should we believe them? This is from Cole Martin, and I look at that and go, dude, the showcase just happened last month. Like, that's how bad things are. We're talking about something we saw a month ago going, is any of that real? Because Xbox leadership has talked out of both sides of their mouths for years, and we have so many receipts. We have developers like Rafael Colantonio, as well as members of Larian, talking about how Game Pass is not sustainable for this industry. The business model is clearly bottoming out. And
Oh, look at that. The stuff I said 2 years ago. Shocking, I know. It's almost like I'm a time-traveling wizard who can predict the future. And basic financial decision-making. Amazing. Thank you, thank you.
there are developers such as Romero Games that were working directly with Xbox, getting funded by Xbox, that have new information to share with us thanks to the Journal here, where they write, speaking to the Journal, one anonymous Romero Games staff member described the situation as a, quote, big shock, end quote, and then said everyone is out of a job. The next one, though, is the real kicker. They say, quote, we had meetings with the publisher, aka Xbox, the day before this happened. There was no mention of it, end quote. Now, fortunately, it seems like they are still trying to find ways to fund the project, they say here in this next quote, but for now, they are sadly completely closed and the studio is closed. So in a day and age where finding funding, take it from me as someone who is pitching their game right now, is tough. Yeah, like, I wish them the best of luck. It's
What is Maddie's game? Again, I have heard about this, but I have no idea what it is. Is it some kind of Fallout type-esque game? Is there a chance? Do we believe in Mr. Maddie, boys? I don't know. He needs to sell me more on this.
really tough out there. These companies, I can just say, are crunching you hard and want absolute guarantees with as little investment as possible. And I'm an indie dev. Our budget's not crazy at all. So yeah, best of luck to Romero Games. But look at that. You met with them the day before, and you didn't have the guts to tell them what was going on.
Wait, he has the Final Fantasy Magic card set? Shit, that's like 1K right there. No wonder your indie studio doesn't have a budget, because you're spending it on shit.
Shame on you. Seriously. Like, shame on you. All day. The defense I've seen being run for Xbox leadership right now is that, well, they're just taking marching orders from Satya Nadella and Amy Hood. They don't really have a say in it all. And first off, spare me that, because we're really trying to act like Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and Matt Booty aren't shot callers of any kind in their own division. I get there's a level of, like, they have to fall in line, their shareholders, they have to oblige. I get all of that. But you're acting like these people are totally defenseless. They're just being told, hey, robot, do this, and Phil's going out and doing that. Because whether you like it or not,
I mean, to be absolutely fair, yes, that's actually what happens. I don't know, again, I don't want to go on another tangent, but a lot of gamers do have problems understanding the concept of ownership for some reason, even though Stop Killing Games is happening currently, okay? If Microsoft owns Xbox, Xbox can't say no. Literally. They can't. That is, if Microsoft says this happens, Phil Spencer has to be like, yes, daddy. Please, on my left cheek this time, daddy. There's nothing he can do. There's nothing anyone can do. They can just resign or whatever if they feel like it. That's kind of their only bargaining chip to a degree, but they can't do anything if they want to keep that paycheck. There's nothing they can do. Even if they don't want to keep that paycheck, it's like, okay, you're fired. Next in line. And even if next in line doesn't show up, they're just going to say, other people, okay, you need to start doing this. And that's how it goes, okay? Now, granted, obviously, this does not excuse Xbox being a shitty company in general. But they don't really have a choice when Microsoft says things happen. The same way that Bethesda didn't have a choice when Xbox said, we're now going to be making Fallout TV series. Even though Todd Howard has literally for years said that that's not going to happen. That he doesn't want it to happen. The moment Bethesda got bought by Xbox, aka Microsoft, that's it. Bethesda didn't have a choice. They don't have the right to refuse any of these things.
whether you understand it or not, Xbox is very much in line with Microsoft's vision, and that is AI, as I'll indicate in a little bit here. Today, we're talking about a report from Seattle Times, which gives us a why to what happened last week with all of the layoffs across Microsoft. It's an $80
Oh god, yes, we're again gonna say it's all AI. Okay.
billion investment in AI infrastructure. How about that for your video game villain dystopian ass shit? It's an AI infrastructure investment that caused all these layoffs. I can't.
What's so villainous about it with the current state of Xbox and everything that they pump out? I mean, AI is probably gonna do a better job. If I go and ask ChatGPT to make me interesting side quest for Starfield, it's gonna come and make a 100% better side quest than Starfield's main quest.
Can't wait to say my piece. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here and you're into what's going on with Xbox, I guess we're here until they end up being called Microsoft Gaming, because at that point I'm out. But until then, consider subscribing. All right, so the post from Seattle Times is titled Microsoft to lay off about 9,000 employees in latest round. Skipping down through a lot of their article where they highlight just how much Microsoft has laid off, they write AI costs balloon. As Microsoft cuts corporate ranks, the company is investing heavily in artificial intelligence. Microsoft's push into AI doesn't mean the company is replacing workers with the technology. Rather, the significant cost of building out the infrastructure over multiple years has Microsoft looking to trim costs where it can. During the company's 2025 fiscal year, which ended Monday, Microsoft said it planned to spend more than $80 billion on infrastructure to meet AI demands. That's a $25 billion increase in capital expenditures from the company's 2024 fiscal year. The roles affected during layoffs in May and June include some that could be changed by AI-driven efficiencies. Software engineers were hit the hardest, with more than 800 laid off in Washington out of the 1,985 initial employees laid off in May. Other heavily represented roles were product and program managers. Microsoft's prominent AI tools, which can write and
Product managers are such a goddamn joke most of the time.
debug code, are heralded by leadership. During the developer-focused conference Build, 1 week after May's layoffs, CEO Satya Nadella showed a room of hundreds how he could send AI agents out into the digital world to draft, develop, and fix code with a few directions. Other tech companies are closer to drawing the connection between automated work and the need for fewer employees. And Xbox, as a Microsoft brand, is 1,000% one of them. And I've been shooting my warning shots all year. It's happened fast, though, so I wouldn't blame you if you thought this was years ago or you even forgot about it. We're talking about two AI initiatives happening within Xbox's gaming department right now. One is Copilot for gaming, one that I find very dangerous to the overall gaming experience if left unchecked. What's effectively happening here are two such examples. One is, let's say you're playing Overwatch and you don't know what hero to play. Instead of playing a hero shooter, like I'm going to experiment around the roster, see what role works for me, what character feels best for me. Instead, you can ask your AI overlords to sit here and tell you what exactly would work well in counter to your opponents, what you've done well with on what maps before, and it'll give you a nice assessment and you'll pick your hero based off that. Well, look, I know it's been a lot of negative news lately, and if you're struggling to continuously hear that negative news, I've got a
Oh, wait, is this an ad? It is.
Console people when they're struggling. Now, look, I know I sound doom and gloom with AI. I'll get into why I think it can be a positive in the tool department and why other developers even think as much. But when it comes to what Xbox is doing,
Why would it not be a positive? I mean, if Bethesda is making Starfield tier of games, might as well just give AI a shot. I mean, it's not going to get worse now, is it?
here, to me, that dampens the experience the player can have. Granted, they did say in their Copilot for Gaming presentation that this is a switch that can be turned off, and I think that's great and all, but the idea was also that Xbox said this would be like a hands-off sort of thing. They're not going to force it into all of their studios. And if you think after an $80 billion investment in AI infrastructure,
Why would they not force that in all of the studios if it turns out good? That doesn't make sense. Did someone really actually buy into that garbage?
and trying to be the lead AI company on the planet, right? Like, this is the same rush to the internet that Google won out in, right? This is what Microsoft's trying to win out in. Can we win the AI race? Can we be the Google of the AI race? Can we do that? If we can, the amount of money, power, dominance that comes with that is insurmountable, right? So obviously they want to put all their chips on the table to win this next gold rush. That includes their gaming division absolutely investing heavily in building out and testing their AI tools. Now, also the other thing Copilot for Gaming does, a cool quality of life enhancement, is like, hey, you've been playing Age of Empires 4 for a while, you stopped playing it, you went to a couple other games, you come back to it, you can ask Copilot for Gaming, like, where did I leave off last? What was happening last? And it'll give you a summary of that. That stuff is great. That stuff is cool. I think that stuff is useful for the player, especially when there's so much content coming out.
That sounds like something I hate because this just makes people stupider. No one needs to remember anything. No one needs to try any longer. AI just summarizes everything for you. People who are gonna end up using this garbage are gonna become dumber. Visibly, probably dumber in like 2 years than everyone who doesn't use this. No questions asked.
Have more thoughts on though, and the one that you should really be keeping your eyes on, and the one that Xbox did try to say like, oh, we're going to propose the option to our first party studios. I think that's going to be a mandate very soon, especially again, you can't believe what you read or hear from anyone with an Xbox, but here they talk about Muse, a generative AI model for gameplay. Look, there's no denying that every job imaginable is going to have AI involved in one way or another. That is inevitable. And I do think there's a level of like fighting against it is kind of just digging your heels in the sand. And it's not all awful evil villain type shit. Like I mentioned earlier, I think the whole save recap, where did I leave off last time, is great usage of AI that enhances your gaming experience, lets you kind of flow from experience to experience and catch up whenever you need to. Where I really get my backup about AI is when it goes from tool to replacement. The games industry, and this does not really need to be stated unless you're a Microsoft executive, flourishes off of creative energy. That needs to be valued more than anything. Xbox, as I've indicated many times with the amount of talent they've let go from, say, Bethesda and a Shinji Mikami, a Harvey Smith, Pete Hines, and the list goes on, John Johannes, like, they lost so much incredible talent.
God damn, I look at this and it's insane. Look at this.
Indicated many times with the amount of talent they've let go from, say, Bethesda.
God, the literal DEI lineup of the century.
And a Shinji Mikami, a Harvey Smith, Pete Hines.
Wolfenstein, whatever. Two independent, strong female leads.
And the list goes on.
Gears of War, very, 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 very low testosterone now suddenly.
John Johannes.
What's her face? Seneca from Senua's Saga, or what's it called? Disgusting.
Like, they lost so much.
Fallout, Sea of Thieves.
Incredible talent. Clearly, they don't know.
Man, listen, Xbox lost all of their talent decades ago. That's it. That's it. Nothing else I can add to that. It's just over.
What the value of having good creative talent is, creative visionaries is. And I'm not saying necessarily that Xbox is taking Harvey Smith out of the picture so they can put Muse in his spot, but this is not a brand that is innocent within the whole Microsoft AI investment phase. This is a company that is in the same year, right? This is all happening in 2025. Copilot for gaming, in beta, here's Muse. Our developers are using it across our entire first party. Like, they announced Muse alongside Ninja Theory, which was supposed to be one of their more like prolific prestige piece studios that's making these hardcore single player experiences, and like they're the advocates for generative AI content in video games.
Oh, jeez.
Again, I'm all for it as a tool, removing the grindy, crunchy parts of development. But as Microsoft tries to slim its workforce and replace it with AI in tech-focused jobs, I mean, that's a lot of what game development is, technology, right? And so when you start to see the potential of that being trimmed down and you lose creative individuals just to slim down the budget some more, gaming as a whole will no doubt suffer. I mean, what can you say?
That's kind of a good question, honestly. Will gaming suffer if something as trash as Xbox starts using AI? I honestly think, let's try. Again, what's the worst thing that happens? Starfield 2 gets made and it is as bad as 1. Well, I don't trust the people who are gonna make the next Starfield anyway in the first place. So, again, bring on the AI. I think it's probably not gonna be worse than what we have now, especially considering AI is against a lot of the Vogue bullshit.
At this point, you have fans who have lost hope, developers who are working with you have clearly lost hope. I mean, in my personal experience, I can only speak for myself. For those who don't know, I don't get inside information almost ever. And that's fine. I don't operate off of it. I like to just be a fan of gaming and not know what's coming. I think it gives the most authentic reaction you can get nowadays when it comes to like everyone being in the know. So I prefer to not be in the know. But my God, the amount of employees across Xbox, Activision, ZeniMax Online Studios, the initiative that reached out to me anonymously and was like, I'm here to vent. I'm here to pop off. I'm here to share stuff. That has never happened to me before, okay? But when you combine that with public-facing figures in gaming, turning their back on Game Pass, talking openly and critically about Xbox leadership and Microsoft shareholders and Microsoft leadership, like everyone has turned their back on the Xbox brand. There is no wait, let's turn
Wait, I'm a Microsoft shareholder. How dare he say fuck me?
the page on
Damn.
this all. I can understand last year after the multi-platform pivot, and then unfortunately,
Listen, if Microsoft's gonna go up 10% in a year, I will sacrifice Xbox. Just saying, boys. Just saying. I mean, nothing of value was lost anyway, right?
right after that, it's like boom, now we have a bunch of studio closures. People just want to move on from all that mess. Let's turn the page. Let's see what this new, slimmed down, more efficient.
Yeah, people wanna move on from this. People want a new, fresh start. But the problem is, we're not getting a new, fresh start, are we? We're getting the same fucking old, but someone's saying that it's gonna magically succeed somehow, which is just a clear lie, okay? You can't do the same thing over and over again and say, oh no, this time it's gonna succeed because we said it's gonna succeed, okay? You can't repeat the same mistakes and expect that much of a different outcome.
Xbox has up its sleeve, and you see they make a lot of money. Console sales are still going down though. Recommit to console production though. Okay, looks like this is going to be the new Xbox, and then they step on a rake as they always do. But when the rake is an $80 billion investment in AI infrastructure,
Hey, they bought Blizzard for 90, Billy. Okay, it's not really that big of an issue if you think about it.
Understand the sympathy that Xbox leadership might be a victim of the process, but please stop acting like they are not shot callers in any of this. They are not complete victims in any of this, especially when their own initiative has greenlit 2 massive AI gaming tools for development, one of which is no doubt going to be mandated for their own developers. Again, people need to stop treating Xbox, after the whole ABK acquisition, like they're not the little toy on the side.
Dude, I honestly wonder how good AI can actually be for this. Because ChatGPT is honestly shit. I tried to use ChatGPT to make a thumbnail, and you know what happened? I asked it, make this face angry. And ChatGPT is like, I cannot make a person look mad or bad or sad or any way make them feel bad about themselves, even though it's just a picture. Oh my god, just stop. It's useless. It's trash.
That, oh, they can kind of get away with like tucking Muse away and be like, yeah, Satya, we'll use it. Right. Now it's going to be like, hey, we're trying to advance with AI and test these systems. We want to be the leader in AI. Like, how are things going? Are your teams using it? Like,
by the way, this is a woeful misunderstanding how much oversight that exists in companies, okay? If you're supposed to use AI, you're gonna use AI because the company that tells you that you need to use AI is gonna monitor if you use the AI. So there's no option of saying wink wink, yes we use AI, wink wink. No, they're gonna have full access to how you use it, and if you're not using it, well shit. It is what it is. Anyway, that was Mr. Matty Plays 10 out of 10. Bye!